Vo2 Max workouts are one of the best cycling workouts you can do. They help raise your FTP and give similar aerobic adaptations as longer, slower rides, and can be achieved in a short amount of time. Additionally, the intense discomfort of these harder intervals helps put your other workouts in context and develop the mental toughness to complete longer, easier intervals. The way I like to approach Vo2 sessions is to do one a week as my first workout of the week. You can do as many as 2 or 3 sessions in a week, all depending on what phase of training you're in and what you're training for. A good rule of thumb is if you're in your base phase, the most Vo2 work you should be doing is 1 session per week. Generally, if you're doing anything longer or steady state, you won't do more than 1 session per week in your build or specialty phase. But if you're doing a criterium or anything where you expect lots of hard, short efforts to play a deciding role, you'll probably do 2 or more to help sharpen your abilities. The classic Vo2 Max workout is 3 minutes times 6 at 120% of your FTP. Rather than just trying to jump into that straight away, I'm going to show you how I like to progress my Vo2 intervals through a season, starting with shorter work and shorter rest intervals, and slowly stretching how long we can sustain that power and discomfort level. To start, I do 30 seconds on at 120%, 30 seconds off, just easily spinning, for 10 repetitions. That's 1 set, rest 5 minutes, then do 1 more set for a total of 20 intervals. You're working at a very high percentage of your FTP, and the rests are not enough to fully recover. So each interval, your breathing and heart rate is going to go up and not be able to return to a baseline in only 30 seconds. This allows you to accumulate a lot of time, both at a very high quality power output and a lot of time at your peak aerobic ability, which is what we want. To progress this, we're just going to add on intervals at first. So next week, you do 30 by 30s again for 10 repetitions, but for 3 sets this time, 5 minutes rest between sets. Then 30 by 30s for 15 repetitions, but for 2 sets now. Then 20 repetitions for 2 sets, then 15 repetitions for 3 sets, and then finally 20 repetitions for 3 sets. It's a very long, hard workout, but it's worth it. This will give you a solid boost to your ability to produce power at these wattages, FTP, aerobic ceiling, and ability to dig deep. And it'll also be a great platform to work from to build on with longer intervals. There's 2 directions you can go from here. Both will give similar physiological improvements so far as FTP and aerobic power are concerned, but with slightly different objectives in mind. One is to shorten the rest intervals. We had 30 seconds, and then we can go down to 20, 15, 10. And you do the exact same interval sets, 10 by 2, 10 by 3, depending on how difficult that is for you. And to further progress this, once you can handle 10-second recoveries for 2 to 3 sets of 15 to 20 intervals, you also stretch the work interval slightly from 30 seconds up to 40, up to 50. Especially if you're a crit racer or you care about your short power, this is a good direction for you. For time trials or anything where sustained power is more important, I like to stretch the work interval more than just 50 seconds. So you'd start with 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off for 6 intervals, then 5 minutes rest, and repeat for 3 sets total. If you don't need the 60 seconds right off the bat, because you're such a beast after completing 30 by 30s, you can cut the rest down to 30 seconds still. The 60 seconds is there if you need it to keep a high quality power output for each interval, but you shouldn't be going beyond 60 seconds rest for these yet. Next, 60 seconds on, definitely 30 seconds off now for 7 intervals. Then 5 minutes rest, repeat for 3 sets total. Next, 90 seconds on, 60 seconds off, 5 intervals, 5 minutes rest, and repeat for 3 sets total. Then 90 seconds on, back to 30 seconds off again for 5 intervals, 5 minutes rest. Next, 120 seconds on, 60 seconds off for 4 intervals, then 5 minutes rest, and repeat for 3 sets total. Finally, 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off for 6 intervals. Each week, we're just alternating stretching the work interval and reducing the rest interval, building up to 3 by 6. And even though the workouts are just as beneficial as 3 minutes of Vo2 Max, the shorter work intervals are far more manageable and are going to lead to being able to consistently completing workouts. And probably a higher quality workout when you do 3 by 6 than if you just jumped into it straight away. Most people would need more recovery between intervals and express a lower power than when they practice progressing how long they can hold that power. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe.